true crime podcast where best friends and next-door neighbors, Willow and Lillian, spill the tea on murder, mysteries, and other things that go bump in the night. So get your favorite teacup ready, and let's get into it. Welcome to Cruelty Podcast. This is Lillian, and with me is Merris, because it's Merris Monday.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm here. I'm alive. It's not too bad outside or anything.
No, it's actually been a little bit cooler, so I haven't been, like, flopping around and dying, which is good.
Yeah.
So we all love a good apocalypse here on Merris Monday.
What's the opposite of an apocalypse? Like where everything just blows up nicely and everything's
It's
like paradise?
a utopia.
Yeah, that's what I
think.
want.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice. It's not happening.
Apocalypse is overrated.
I agree, because humans have been obsessed with the end of the world since we started walking upright. And if we end, then surely the world must end too. But that's like some ego shit.
Like paradise now, not apocalypse now.
Kittens and puppies now.
Yeah.
And while I think a few people are like scared of the end of the world for real, most of us realize that humanity will end probably due to its own machinations, and the earth itself will go on.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, who cares? I whenever people like correct, like, this is the end of the world, they're like, well, the earth will actually continue because it's a rock, but everyone else will die. I hate those guys.
Are you making fun of me?
No.
Are you hating me? I'm one of those guys.
No. I know that the rock will keep going. Of course. That's not what we're talking about.
Calm down over there. Yeah, I just think it's, there are lots of ways we could explode, and we're going to talk about another way, although we've talked about this particular way before.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is
I
it?
doubt, though, that most of our listeners have heard about this guy. Edgar
Right.
Cayce.
I know who he is, but I'm not an expert.
No, now if you've ever listened to Coast AM back in the day, like the mid to late 90s, you've definitely heard of Edgar Cayce.
The Sleeping Prophet.
Yes, that is what they call him.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a cool name.
It is a very
Yeah.
cool name for a very twerpy dude.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into it. Who was Edgar Cayce, and what did he have to say about the end of the world? Because he said a lot of shit. A lot.
Okay.
He was America's, and probably still is, most prominent clairvoyant and psychic.
No, Miss
Yes?
Cleo is.
Oh, shit. Well, wasn't she...
And then there was the guy from Montel, or the lady from Montel.
Sylvia Brown? Fuck her.
Sylvia Brown. Yeah.
Oh, is that your Sylvia Brown impression?
like this. She's dead now, so it's fine. I can make fun of her.
Well, she was a big piece of shit.
Yeah.
So Edgar was born March 18th, 1877 in Christian County, Kentucky, home of fried chicken. Kentucky.
Yeah, that's right. That's the only thing they're good for.
And races.
Yeah,
I
derbies,
suppose.
I guess. But that's mean to the horses,
I think it's mean to the horses.
Yeah.
Did you all know that KFC's getting rid of their chocolate chip cookies?
First of all, they got rid of their extra fried...
No, they didn't. I looked
Okay.
that up. You were
that
wrong.
was Snopes, okay.
Okay, Snopes did, yeah. No, they're getting rid of like several menu items, including strawberry lemonade and their chocolate chip cookies.
I've never eaten those, so I don't know if to miss them or
man,
not.
yeah. So don't, because you would miss them. They're delicious.
Maybe we should go get some after this or something.
It just color me disappointed, you know?
Yeah.
Go ahead and end the world, Santa Jesus God. See if
Right.
I care.
Yeah, that's not cool. The world's done now.
Anyway, Edgar's parents were farmers, and he was one of 6 children. Back then, you had to have a whole slew of kids because most of them would die before the age of 6.
Yeah, my family did that.
But not for that reason.
No,
They were
but-
Catholic.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a similar idea. Like, just have a bunch of them. Maybe one of them will come out all right.
How'd that work?
Bad.
I think you have a good sibling. You have a good sibling.
Which one? I mean, like,
Eleanor.
Yeah, okay,
Well,
she's
good.
all right, but everyone else is probably a disappointment.
All right, cool. So, yeah, there was Spanish flu, no vaccinations. That's right, I went there. Childhood illnesses, poor sanitation. Kids were dropping like flies back then. Very sad.
Very sad.
Right away, Edgar had weird experiences. When he was very little, he saw the ghost of his grandfather, and he said he knew it was a ghost because he could see through it the harder he looked.
Well, I mean, that is a good ghost test.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Then at age 10, he was brought to church, and then he really got hepped up about Jesus and like the Bible, which he read to an excessive degree, cover to cover, multiple times.
I don't get it. It's like reading the dictionary.
Oh, it's boring as shit. He would go into his little hut in the woods and pray and read his Bible, and eventually a winged woman appeared to him and said his prayers had been answered and asked Edgar what he wanted.
Wait, that said the prayers have been answered.
Meaning, like, they're about to be answered. I'm here to answer them.
Okay, it sounded like they're answered, but what are your questions? That's the wrong order.
Wait a minute. No.
Yeah.
And man, I wish a hot lady with wings would show up in my room and ask me what I want.
Well, it's KFC.
What would you say, Merris, if like a winged bitch was like, what do you want?
Can I have those wings? Can I have a pair of my own?
Oh, that's a weird take. I didn't think you were going to go there.
No, I don't need wishes. I need to fly.
Well, I would say $5 million, a good back, no epilepsy, and a smaller ass.
Right. Those are more practical things than my Well,
this is why angels don't visit us, at least not the good ones.
They're like, I'm like, I want to be an angel too. They're like, that wasn't on the table.
They're like, okay, but you can be one of the bad ones.
Cool. I'll get to be part of a club.
Go to hell.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Yep. Anyway, sweet little Edgar said what he really wanted to do was help children. And
he's way better than we are.
I know. No, he's actually a good dude. I mean, it's complicated. And he wanted to become a missionary, which isn't very helpful to brown children, is it?
No, it's just colonization.
But I digress.
Yeah.
The next bit of this story is going to require a trigger warning, which we don't usually have on Merris Mondays, but here it is. Trigger warning for child abuse. Anyway, the next day at school, Edgar, who always had trouble focusing on his schoolwork, got in trouble for daydreaming. When he got home, his dad was super pissed and made him, like, recite all the words he could spell. He was, like, drilling him and quizzing him, right?
Okay.
And when he got one wrong, his father straight up, like, backhanded him out of his chair onto the floor.
Ugh.
Once on the floor and cowering before his very angry father, Edgar heard the winged woman's voice again. He should have said, like, okay, change my wish.
Yeah, get wings.
No, I wish my dad was, like, in a bog. That's what I would wish.
That's a better choice than my stupid ass.
What's wrong with you today?
I'm dumb.
You have been very dumb lately.
Yeah, Edgar Cayce just sounded like he had ADD or something and couldn't pay attention.
Right, same. And, you know, maybe you just have dumb bitchitis.
I have that for sure.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So he heard the woman's voice say this time that she told him whoever the fuck that is, would help him if he just went to sleep.
That's not helpful. That's just dissociative in a bad situation.
I'm like, oh, that's what I do when I'm upset.
When I'm abused, I'm just like, going to go take a nap, I guess.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
So he used his spelling book as a pillow, and when he woke up, he could recite anything from that book and spell like a champ.
That never worked for me.
No. His father then thought that Edgar was being a little shit and had tricked him before, like pretending to be dumb, so he beat him again.
What an asshole.
Yeah. Edgar said that from then on, he slept on his books, and that's how he learned. So, osmosis.
Osmosis, yeah. I've tried this as a child. It did not work.
Did not work.
No.
My brain is too soup for such things.
Yeah.
Osmosis requires a meat brain, not a soup brain.
Yep.
And yes, that will be on T-shirts later this week. Brain is soup, no thoughts, only soup.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a good shirt.
That Edgar Cayce had meat brain, so.
He obviously had meat brain, far superior than my soup brain. So Edgar would go on to be the best student at his school. When asked by his teachers how he'd turned it all around, he just said that he saw pictures in his head of what was in his school books without reading them. His father was super duper proud of him now and no longer was knocking his ass out of a chair and told everyone who would listen that he had a special brain with powers or some shit.
Meat brain. Special meat brain, yep.
Indeed. After some time, like about after 1892, Edgar, I keep wanting to call him Edward because I'm obsessed with Twilight, was at school, like at a school ball game, and it didn't say if it was like baseball or footballs.
Just a ball game.
Ball game. They were just throwing balls around, and got hit in his tailbone, which broke it.
Oh.
by a ball, I'm assuming.
Ah.
And he went to sleep and devised a cure in his sleep. And when he woke up, he told his parents, prepared the cure, whatever it was, and voila, his ass bones were back in order.
You need this.
Yeah, I was just, in my notes, it says I could use this cure because 4 years ago, I was looking at some tadpoles like a dumbass, and I slipped on the slimy rocks, and I broke it so hard you could hear it.
Don't talk about it too much. I can't.
Yeah. Anyway, shit still hurts.
Yeah.
This ability to diagnose people's maladies would not return for several years, but it kind of is what he became most known for. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that, though. So his family moved to Hopkinsville, Kentucky, which we have covered before. Not the move, but the town and the weird little alien goblin things that terrorized the farm.
That was the Edgar Cayce town?
Yes.
Holy crap, that is a weird town. Shout out to that town.
Yeah. Do you... Okay. Teabags, if any of you are from there, Hopkinsville, or you've been there, tell me what's going on. I need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll try and link that episode, but I say I'll do things and then later I forget. Mm-hmm. But if you search for it on Spotify or Apple or anywhere you listen to your podcast, you can find it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he was only able to finish the 8th grade, even though he was a super smart kid, and that's because his family couldn't afford to pay for school, which apparently you had to do after 8th grade. And since he was a working class person from a working class family, it just wasn't necessary to get a higher education.
Right.
Pretty much. Most of his late teen years were spent trying to find employment. He was on the struggle bus, y'all. Mm-hmm. On March 14th, 1897, Edgar married Gertrude Evans. He was super into the church at this time. He taught Sunday school, read the Bible once a year, and recruited missionaries. He worked a lot during this time. I'm trying to figure out how to explain his jobs. It was not quite like odd jobs, okay, but it was more like he was studying to be a photographer. So he was just doing that kind of freelancy for a while.
Okay, that makes sense.
Actually became a pretty good photographer because before that he sold insurance. Right. And he hated it.
I've done that. I feel that.
Yes. And it required him, he went door to door with his dad to sell insurance, which sounds like the worst
right,
job.
Right, the dad's a dick.
His dad is a dick, and he had to do a lot of talking. Edgar was a pretty charming dude, and he lost his voice as a result of talking so much. And then he couldn't work for a year. And I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound mean, and bear with me. Did he lose his voice, or did he just not want to sell insurance?
Dad, I can't.
Yeah. I mean, or psychosomatic. It maybe just gave him so much anxiety because he hated it so much.
I think that seems accurate.
Yeah, because I don't think Edgar wasn't really a shitty person.
And he had to work with his dad, which we know is a dick. It would make me nervous.
Yeah, I just think it was trauma related. Anyway, his wife also did not like him doing psychic shit.
Right.
Because Edgar feared that it was some devil crap. That it was an entity was bringing him this information.
I mean, probably.
And he just was I don't know if this is Jesus or devil stuff, and I feel weird about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because he could talk to the dead. He could, read people's auras, see the color swirls around them.
Yeah.
He was psychic as fuck. So he really got into the photography after he lost his voice, because it didn't require as much talking. Then one day, a traveling sideshow came to town with a famous hypnotist who heard through the grapevine about Edgar's voice problems. What strikes me as crazy is that back in the day, because they didn't have no TV or nothing, people just, actually got involved in each other's lives in weird ways like this. So I heard you lost your voice. Right. Well, from whomst?
Well, small town gossip, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I live in a small town, and I don't think anyone would give a shit if I lost my voice.
They'd probably be happy about it because you can't do your podcast.
I talk too much. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just weird. Anyway, he hypnotized him, and voila, during the hypnosis session, Edgar got his voice back. but only while hypnotized. And when he woke up, his voice went away again.
See, it is psychosomatic. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think he was just traumatized by his dad, and he hated insurance, and he was socially awkward, and it
He was
freaked
like,
him out.
Yeah, I get you.
However, another famous hypnotist would come to the rescue. Edgar said that during hypnosis, if he could make a suggestion that the hypnotist would then suggest back, it might work. Like he could devise his own cure and then have it suggested to him.
Right.
So basically, the hypnotist put Edgar in a trance, and Edgar said to suggest that to increase the blood flow in his body to concentrate on his throat. And so they did this. He suggested that, and Edgar's throat turned bright red. And after that, he was cured.
Like the Mothman?
What do you mean?
His throat was red and glowing, or just...
No, it was just red, like skin red.
Okay.
Like sunburn red,
I
not
like my version better.
laser red. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
That was very literal.
And this was a kind of like going to be the start of him being able to diagnose people and then come up with a cure for them
Okay.
without a medical education, basically.
Right.
Edgar began working with Al Lane, the hypnotist, to diagnose people's ailments. Edgar had some conditions, though. He wouldn't accept any money for this, and if his visions ever resulted in someone being hurt, he would stop forever.
That's fair. That's a good healer code.
Yeah, so that's what he did, and the word got out, and his story started appearing in the newspapers. Thus, the office received lots of letters asking for help. And Edgar found that he could diagnose people through the letters, too. And in fact, if you go to any YouTube documentary about Edgar Cayce, somebody in the comments will say, "Oh, my grandfather got a prediction from him, and he started a business and ended up being very wealthy." So it's really interesting. That's just an example, but they're all riddled in all the comments about Edgar Cayce. It's interesting.
Right. Always nice stuff.
Eventually, this practice was shut down because you can't give medical advice if you're not a fucking doctor.
Right.
Obviously. Also, Gertrude just really super didn't approve of this stuff. And yeah, whatever. So Edgar opened a photography studio, and that did okay. And even came up with the idea for a card game. But the game company that he sent his idea to stole it, copyrighted it, and he never got any royalties for it.
So he's the inventor of Sorry.
No. Meanwhile, the medical board in Kentucky wanted to do a study on Edgar and his visions, so they did, and Edgar begrudgingly cooperated. They found his visions accurate and wanted to go into business with him, but once again, he refused any money for his gifts. Tragedy would strike. His photography studio burned down twice, and this bankrupted him. So
Yeah.
after a lot of reluctance, he went into business with a homeopathic doctor who then ended up stealing all of his money and gambling it away. Cool.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, his early life was really hard.
Yeah.
Then one of his sons died.
Oh.
And Edgar feared it was because he'd refused to use his gifts on his own child. Gertrude came down shortly after with tuberculosis, and this time Edgar did use his gifts and thus saved her life with the cure that came to him.
Then she can shut the fuck up from now on.
I think she did.
Okay,
actually.
good.
Yep. He went to work for another photographer at their studio, but just things were rough overall. So over the years, Edgar gained popularity and notoriety for his predictions, visions, and medical advice, which were, let's be clear, mostly folk remedies. And sometimes he only gave the cure long after someone had died because he couldn't get to all the requests for cures fast enough.
Oh.
He did this for people up until the day he died.
Oh, that's very sad.
It is. And, a lot of people shit on him because a lot of his predictions were wrong. But a lot of them were right, too.
Right.
And I think, overall, Edgar Cayce was a good person who did have some sort of spiritual gift or whatever, psychic abilities. And he really did want to help people.
Yeah.
He did not die like a rich man or anything. He refused payment for any time he helped someone with medical advice. He refused payment.
What about, Lotto? Did he do that?
Well, okay. So part of what's fun is when he started gaining popularity, people from all over the world offered him large sums of money to do things. Like one company, was a cotton manufacturer, cloth, and he wanted to predict the cotton market. And so he told Edgar Cayce he would pay him $100 a day to do this.
Okay.
And he said no.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say no, too. First of all, it's not much, and you're going to hassle me a bunch.
Here's one cool prediction that he did that came true, and it was about the location of Atlantis.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So he said that in 1968,
Okay.
Atlantis would be discovered off the coast of Florida, like in the Caribbean, right?
Okay.
And in 1968, that is when they discovered what's called the Bimini Road, which is like the kind of uniform blocks under the water that look like a road. Now, is that Atlantis? No, but a lot of people thought it was.
Right.
So is it a case of his predictions being wrong, or are they just being interpreted incorrectly? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, visions are hard to like interpret. I mean, so there's that. So they're not reliable.
I think he did have visions.
Yeah.
He predicted the assassination of JFK.
What'd he say?
That
He just said JFK would get shot, or just the
Well,
president?
this was before JFK went into office.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang.
Indeed. He just said a U.S. president would be shot that year and killed, and he was right.
Well, that sucks, yeah.
We could talk about all the predictions that didn't come true or only half came true. And another thing he did, too, was like treasure. People came to him looking for treasure maps. And he was right a couple times, but he was wrong most of the time. Like, if it was about money, it's like his powers didn't work very well. And I find that super interesting.
Money's very fickle, or...
It's its own entity, almost, yeah. So let's talk instead about the predictions that came true. 6 months before the stock market crash of 1929, he told friends who had invested in the stock market to pull out. He predicted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He predicted that blood would eventually be used to diagnose medical conditions, way before it was.
Yeah.
The pole shift, which began in 2001, he did predict that. And that is occurring.
It's
just slowly.
moving, but I don't know if like a full flip or something.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second.
Uh-oh.
He predicted the year as to when it would start, and that is when it started.
Ooh, okay.
He predicted the discovery of some additional Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yep, I remember that.
Yep. He predicted World War II.
Ooh, yeah.
Although, honestly, with the way World War I ended, you can
didn't
it's not that big of a leap, you know?
No.
Yeah. He also predicted that communication companies, of which there were tons back in the day, would all kind of merge into a couple. And that's pretty much what's happened.
That's true for like everything.
Most companies, yeah. He predicted the El Nino and La Nina weather pattern effects before they had been kind of discovered.
Right.
He predicted his own death. He told his wife he would be buried in 4 days, and he was in his hometown.
Yeah.
Yep. Those are some pretty big wins for old Edgar.
Yeah.
But what did the sleeping prophet say about the end of the world?
Okay, here we go.
All right. So it's the pole shift, of course. People love that one. I don't think it was a pole shift, though, because everything he predicts sounds like climate change.
Maybe they're the same.
He said Antarctica would not have ice on it anymore.
Yeah.
And that the rise in sea level would swallow up most of Europe, definitely most of Japan. India becomes so unstable that they have to move to the Himalayas, the people there.
Yeah, and I think they're having a hard time there too, but yeah.
Yes. And then Russia would be separated from Europe by a big ocean now, or sea. Most of Europe goes away, including Ireland, which makes me sad because I love Ireland.
We love them.
Yes, we do. Your accents delight me. And boxties are delicious.
Yeah.
Potatoes are great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ireland.
Thanks, Ireland.
I mean, I'm going to shut up. I don't know what I'm talking about. Basically, like, everything gets flooded again.
Oh, I don't like any of that.
No, there's like most of Australia coastline is gone. But it's then connected to New Zealand again, so they have to quit fighting and have to be friends now.
They do have to be friends and
no
hold
more
hands.
Rivalry.
And kiss.
Although
And they have to kiss.
they have to make out.
Yeah.
I will tell you this, New Zealand, I do prefer your accents. They're cuter somehow, but I love how Australian people say no.
They make no like a more than one long syllable. It's several
forever.
syllables. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got R's in it.
H's.
I love it. I could listen to both of those regions talk all day long. It just delights me. But you're fucked. And it's not really the end of the world, but it's the end of civilization as we know it. And I think, like, he says that, like, Atlantis will come back or some shit. He loved Atlantis and talking about it. He said it was a huge civilization with, like, a big magic crystal that could turn into, and, like, they got death rayed.
That's cool.
Yeah, and he said that our government would discover the death ray in 1953, and maybe they did.
Yeah, we
with,
just
like,
don't
all
know
the
about it.
alien talk.
Right.
Do you think the aliens have a death ray?
I hope so.
Do you want to be death rayed?
Yeah.
Wow, I just want to go see the Barbie movie.
What?
I don't want to be death rayed.
I mean, okay, if you got to go out, first of all, if you were death rayed by an alien, the world would know it. It would be the biggest death in all of history.
Well, I'm not around to enjoy it.
No, but I would be a ghost looking in and be like smiling like Yoda, you know?
No, we have a death pact. We have to die at the same time.
Well, you get lasered too then.
I don't want you picking when I get lasered.
We just have to be lasered together.
Don't you want to see the Barbie movie with me?
Yeah, I do. I don't want to see Oppenheimer. That looks sad. And
I want to watch that.
We know why I don't do true crime is I hate things that are sad.
You do. You get mad when things are sad.
Because we could be like doing something fun instead.
But you also are allergic to fun.
I have a very complicated life.
It's unnecessarily complicated. Basically, like, I feel like all the predictions about the end of the world are always involving a pole shift, and I'm just not here for it. I think it's boring and dumb.
It's a dumb way
Kill
to
me
go.
another way.
Yeah.
Like, all the kittens in the world suddenly gain, like, super intelligence, and they just kill us all.
I don't want
That'd be
that.
interesting.
We have 2 kittens.
We do. We have 2 kittens. We call them the Greys.
They are the Greys because they are both solid gray. Like there is no color to
With
them.
little black noses.
Yeah.
They're very cute.
And they run around the house together, the Greys.
All insane, yes. Because I saw a cat on the side of the road and I thought my cat had escaped.
It wasn't our cat. Now we
So
have 2.
that whole meme of "this is not my cat" happened to me.
That happened, yep.
Yep. But she'd been like starved and she
They
was in
looked
rough
identical,
shape.
except when I picked up the one on
was
the side of the road, she was
bony.
bony. So I was like, this
So
isn't my cat.
we can't throw a bony kitty out in the road. That's fucked up.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Edgar Cayce.
I mean, I guess he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool.
I'll link to where you guys can read about, like, had some books, and so I'll link to those if you want to read
He
them.
was called the Sleeping Prophet because every time he made predictions, he was laying on the couch or something.
Yes. So what he what he would do is somebody would walk into like his office and they'd see like the typical like couch that like a psychologist would have, like a Freudian psychologist. But instead of them sitting on the couch, Casey would get on there and lay down. Like take off his shoes
Like
and
here
lay
in
down.
Russia, like I lay down.
Couch lays on you.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, he got all of his predictions from like what he said was his subconscious, and that when he woke up, he tried to interpret them, his visions. And so I think that he was accurate. I just think he interpreted his visions wrong sometimes.
He was an astral projector.
Oh, for sure. He just
Right.
didn't use the right language. He wasn't into the occult stuff too much.
He really
except,
loved Jesus, I remember.
Oh man, he loved Jesus. And he talked a lot about the Akashic records, which I'm going to do the next Merris Monday over.
Do you know where the term has come from? Like I've always wondered who made up the word Akashic record.
Well, because we're a professional podcast, I'm going to Google it right now.
Awesome. Okay, so the Akashic record, for like the teabags who don't know, is a database of all the world's knowledge. Is Wikipedia, but in the spirit world.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
And it contains past, present, and future terms of all entities and life forms, not just humans.
okay, so all universe's knowledge in a supernatural way.
Yes, and it comes from the religion of Theosophy.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, now today we learned.
And I'm trying to figure out when it was history.
Yeah.
It comes from the Sanskrit term akasha.
Okay.
And, oh no, it was that Helena Blavatsky
Helena
bitch.
Blavatsky, which she's a Nazi, so
Yeah. Uh-oh. Well, we're going to cover it anyway.
Yeah.
For funsies. And hey, just because someone was a Nazi doesn't mean they're wrong all the time.
just about the important stuff.
Just
I
about
guess.
like everything that's important and good. Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine, you know what gets me is that Nazis are just almost cartoonishly evil to me.
Yeah, Indiana Jones fought them. We've discussed.
He punched the shit out of some
If
Nazis.
Indiana Jones is against it, then why would you ever think it's
It's good.
that it's okay?
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Right.
And so that anybody today would be like, you know what? I'm a Nazi. It just blows my mind.
Yeah,
like,
right.
why?
Yeah. Gross.
Ugh. And it's just stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid.
Right.
But anyway, we're going to cover the Akashic records because they're cool. And I am mad they were invented by an idiot. So.
Yeah, well, we'll learn more about it next time.
We're going to learn more about it next time on Merris Monday and how you too can access the Akashic records and find out what kind of piece of crap you were in a past life. And that's why everything's hard now.
Oh.
What do you think you were in a past life?
A ninja.
Nope, don't think that.
I
Why
do.
would you think that?
That's what popped into my head, so it must be true.
I see. I think that I was just some turd, just some asshole.
Just some potato farmer.
Yeah. Yeah, probably like top of the morning, and then like
You were Irish for sure.
oh yes, certainly no. I don't know. I don't care. Also, I mean, I know I should care about my past life, but I don't.
I don't, because it's certainly not the now life.
No. What if you know what would really upset me is if I found out in my past life I was like really rich.
You were probably a dick then, like, because most
Yeah.
rich people are dicks and bad, and that's why you're suffering now.
Yeah, but it would make me mad because I bet I'd be like, I bet I didn't even enjoy it to the fullest extent of enjoyment.
Right.
I bet I didn't even help anybody, and I was just buying dumb shit.
Like we do now.
Like, well, I don't buy anything now.
Yeah.
buying stuff in this economy.
Right.
Anyway, now it's time for business time.
Business time.
That's right. So, we try and help out our tea bags, our listeners, and we have a tea bag who could use your help. They need some emergency dental procedures, and we all know them luxury bones are expensive. God knows I can't fix mine. So I'm going to link their GoFundMe, and if you have a couple extra bucks, please toss it at them because it is the nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Our small business sponsor for this week, as it was last week, is Tiny C Crafts. They made you that art bag.
Oh, I
And,
love
like,
my art bag.
Your lanyard.
Yes, it's super useful.
Very well made stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Very
Yeah.
cute also.
Yes.
You can choose your own fabrics. I will link their Facebook page. You go check it out. Go support a small business.
Yeah.
Don't go buy a lanyard at Walmart. That's
No.
made in the U.S. prison system with slave labor conditions.
For sure, yeah.
We're not about that. And if you are a small business and you would like to sponsor us and we'll read a little ad for you, then please contact me. But the conditions are you have to make it with your own little hands. No MLMs. No
No drop
reselling.
shipping.
No drop shipping. Don't do it. But if you made it with your own little mitts,
We'll do a commercial.
get in touch. We also have a Patreon.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to, today we're uploading an episode that Willow did about the Bubble and Squeak murder.
Oh, that sounds cute, but then it ends with murder.
Do you know what Bubble and Squeak is?
No, I don't.
What? Okay, if you had to guess, like at gunpoint, what do you
Okay.
think it is?
Shoot. Well, I don't mean literally because you're at gunpoint.
Oh, no, that's good.
I don't know. I was thinking of a mouse in a bubble, and that's not what it is.
It is a British food.
I would never have thought.
So it's like usually leftover mashed potatoes and cabbage, and then you pan fry that,
Okay.
like in a wad. And as I keep saying to our British friends, honey, you don't have to eat that. You can make potato
Then I
cakes
guess they throw
instead.
mayonnaise on it.
No. Do they use a lot of mayonnaise in England?
When I was there, they put mayonnaise in everything, and it made a few things inedible.
My
Like, I
God.
like mayonnaise, too. I'm not one of those weirdos that hate
No,
it.
mayonnaise is fine. It's food lube.
But it was a lot. It's,
Oh, you're gagging? Oh, my God. Okay. But anyway, the Bubble and Squeak murder is that a couple gets into an argument over eating that,
okay, yeah, I would argue,
and
too.
someone dies at the end.
Okay.
So it's a really actually interesting case, actually pretty sad, and Willow did a great job on the research as per usual. So if you want to hear that episode, plus many other exclusive Patreon-only episodes, please head to our Patreon and check that out. We also do like after-episode commentary. If video is going to happen, it's going to be there. We're working on stuff like that. Patreon's a good value, and in addition, we're running a contest.
Oh, dang.
Become a patron from now until the end of August, and I will put your name in for a drawing for a bunch of soap, some Merris art, some Willow photography, like a whole big, like up to $100, but probably more in value. And just become a patron, and that's all you got to do. Also, we have another little contest going on right now.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, too. Leave us a nice review. Send a screenshot of that to our email, and I will enter you at the end of this month for a free subscription to our $5 Patreon tier, which gets you the weekly bonus episodes.
That's cool.
I think it's a cool contest, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else was I going to talk about? Hey, oh my goodness, I do tarot readings.
Oh my God.
Over almost 30 years of experience reading tarot. I do them through email. I will eventually have live readings, but for right now, I'm running a special. Why am I running a special? Because we got to get this cat that I pulled up off the side of the road fixed.
Yeah.
She's in heat, and that's annoying as fuck.
Annoying. She's meowing.
Well, she's suffering. She's uncomfortable, and I don't like that. She's a little baby, and she deserves to be pampered.
Right.
And we did not expect to incur expenses for another cat because we just adopted a cat. They're like the same age. Mm-hmm. They're identical cats. It's really fucked up. Yeah. I'll post a picture of them on Patreon, and you'll be like, wow, it's the same cat. And I'll be like,
Greys.
yeah, see? They're the Greys. And so I'm running a sale right now on my tarot readings and Merris's star charts, which we've talked about on here before. And if you want to see examples of those, just go to his Instagram art account, which is in our link tree. And you can look. That's right. Yeah. Anyway, for $45, I will do a full 10-card spread, and he will do an 8x10 watercolor painting for you. If you just want the reading, it's $15. Normally, it's $25. I will be continuing this till the end of the month. We are so close to our goal to be able to get this kitty cat fixed. So I appreciate you all very much. Thank you. I also want to see the Barbie movie.
I want to see I do not want to see Oppenheimer. Sorry, I'm a basic bitch Barbie.
Will you wear pink?
No.
Please, if we go see Barbie.
I don't have anything pink.
I'll get you something pink. We'll find
Whatever.
a way.
Okay.
You're supposed to wear pink to go see Barbie.
Okay, I'll do it. Like, I'm not like anti-pink.
To own the right wingers.
Okay.
Because that makes them mad.
All right.
It made little Benny Shapiro so mad.
I just don't have anything like that.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll get you a pink shirt. Yeah, I just, if it makes them mad, I want to do it.
All right.
The movie opened to like a record-breaking $155 million.
Good for it.
Fucking right. I love this very much. I fucking love Barbie. Okay.
I have no opinion on it.
I loved Barbies when I was little. I did. I had so many Barbies.
I had them because I'm a trans person, so I grew up as a lady, but I just didn't care about them at all.
No.
Yeah.
You didn't make them scissor.
No, I just threw them in the closet. I'll be honest. They were in there. That's where they stayed.
I gave them all like haircuts and makeovers, and like I designed costumes for them, and they were all very dramatic and murdery.
I just played Legos.
So I want y'all to tell me, this is the question of the week. What was your favorite Barbie? I'm about to tell you mine.
What is it?
It was in the 90s. It was the Barbie with the crimped hair, and it was really, really long, and it came with a little, like, gel.
Okay.
Like dippity-doo or whatever. Dep gel is what it came with.
All right.
And she had, like, this really, like, tight, like, mini-skirt dress, and it was, like, all swirly and kind of neon colored. I fucking loved that Barbie.
Very good.
Yeah, and her hair was so long.
I think I had the same Barbie, but she had brown hair.
Then that's not Barbie. That's like Christy or something.
I don't know, but she lived in the closet. But I remember that outfit.
Or Stacy.
That she had like a teal, like
swirly
outfit. And my mom made me put pants on her because she thought the skirt was too short.
Oh my God, your mom needs to calm down. She doesn't even have a vagina. Like you can't even see anything.
It's a fucking doll, and I don't want doll.
That's very silly. Yeah. But I want y'all to tell me, who was your favorite Barbie? Huh? That's mine, is Totally Hair Barbie or whatever it was called.
I think it was Totally Hair Barbie.
It was, yeah. I fucking loved that. And here's like the embarrassing part is I love the way that Barbie smelled so much. I was like, these chemicals in this Barbie are delicious. And I would just huff that Barbie.
Oh, no, that's weird.
Yummy.
Quit sniffing your Barbie.
Well, it's gone now. I would sniff it right now. I can almost smell it in my mind. Like that's how much it's like in there. I need help and dinner, so I'm going to go. All
right.
And if all you can do to support this podcast is listen, please know we thank you and appreciate you so much. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Us on your social media platform of choice. Linktree/cruelty has all the links. Check out our Patreon for exclusive episodes, merch, ad-free episodes, live ghost hunts, and much more. Please be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded weekly. Thank you so much. See you next time. Music and production by Lillian.